departures. Due to a lack of navigational aids, most observations are made firsthand by highly trained and experienced airport personnel. Airport staff and managers determine visibility limits by observing the mountains opposite the airport in the direction which all aircraft make their final approach. This information is relayed to Kathmandu before the aircraft is allowed to depart for Lukla. Thanks to the rapidly changing mountain weather, which varies minute to minute, it's not uncommon for Lukla Airport to close without notice. This leads to passengers having to wait patiently in the Kathmandu Departures Lounge, praying for a break in the weather. Nearly every supply required by the town is flown in, making regular aircraft operations vital to cater to the demands of tourists and the local population. Tara Air is the #1 airline serving Lukla, carrying thousands of passengers and tons of cargo on the route each month. The carrier was established in 2009 as a subsidiary of Yeti Airlines, which together form the largest domestic airline in Nepal. Tara Air is a specialized division tasked to operate into the most demanding Himalayan mountain destinations. Flying with precision and employing the most experienced pilots in the industry, the airline operates specialized aircraft such as the Canadian-manufactured Twin Otter and the German-made Dornier 228. Tara Air has become renowned for flying in challenging mountainous conditions in one of the most testing aviation environments on Earth. Of course, a fleet of modern aircraft require a well-trained and experienced pool of pilots to maintain safe operations. Tara Air prides itself on the experience of its aircrews, who fly many flights a day due to the short stage lengths of the domestic route network. Considering the many challenges faced by these pilots every day, Lukla's safety record is quite amazing. Tara Air's Heroes of Everest are some of the best pilots in the sky, ready to complete their mission, flying thousands of adventurous travelers to the top of the world.
To your left here is a sloped runway 24 that goes right into a valley. An aircraft take a left back to Kathmandu, or right if it's a helicopter to base camp. Right now we're on the way to, in the air traffic control, who were friendly enough earlier to give us access to the tower and a great view of this whole airport. I'm with Riskal Raj Sharma, your air traffic control. How many flights a day do you handle here on average?
On average, it depends on the season and off-season time. In off-season, 15 to 20 flights only. And during peak season, we handle about more than 100 flights per day.
That's a big difference. During the off-season, it's 15, 20 flights, and during the peak season, there's up to 100 flights, including helicopters. I mean, there's a helicopter right behind us.
You're watching ASL.
The Airplane Shop is the world's largest source of commercial and military aviation toys, models, and collectibles. When in New York, New Jersey, Miami, or Las Vegas, drop into the Airplane Shop. For directions, please visit our website.
Join Air, Space, and Lifestyle Channel as we bring our industries together in an exciting new way. Our coverage of the world's top air and trade shows is unmatched. We've been entrusted to film aircraft worth billions of dollars across the world. Our decades of coverage across 6 continents and over 50 countries has resulted in a diversified aviation, space, and travel database containing exclusive material never before seen. From these extensive archives, we've produced over 100 unique DVD programs. And now, it's an honor to bring you the world's first 24-hour air, space, and lifestyle streaming channel. We invite you to join us. Failure is not an option.
When visiting one of the most famous airports in the world, Tokyo Narita, come visit the Museum of Aeronautical Sciences, located just minutes from Narita Airport. With a museum shop located in Terminal 1 on the 5th floor, you can shop for aviation merchandise, as well as pick up a discount coupon for visiting this museum. Travel is easy by taking a convenient bus departing from Level 1 at Bus Stop 30 frequently throughout the day. The Museum of Aeronautical Sciences is a wonder for anyone interested in aviation, with 5 stories including aircraft display, inside and outside observation deck, flight simulators, large map room of Narita Airport, various educational and entertaining activities for kids to adults, and restaurant and gift shop. Air Utopia strongly recommends to feel, touch, and experience the virtual world of the sky. Open daily except on Monday. Come visit a positive aviation experience.
Does the helicopters fly all day?
Even in weather conditions, marginal weather conditions, 1,500 visibility. Aeroplane, we need up to 5 kilometer visibility.
Okay, so aircraft need 5 kilometers of visibility, but the helicopters
Helicopters need only 1,500
1,500.
visibility, then they can operate all the day.
Where do the helicopters fly from here? Where do they fly to where?
They fly to upper area towards north and towards south, lower area, Pangam, Kagel, that area, and upper area, Namche, Komde, and to the Everest Base Camp.
How far is Everest Base Camp from here by helicopter?
By helicopter, it may take 20 minutes.
20 minutes.
20 minutes from here.
In 1 year, how many days does the airport close? More than 30 days. Okay. So many helicopters all the time.
So many helicopters.
Everywhere is a helicopter. Many flights. Today they seem to be very active going to the north, I guess, right? Oh, he's going to the south. Sorry. I can see him right now. He's going to the southerly direction.
To maybe Kathmandu.
Yeah.
Kathmandu.
And that's the board, that's the schedule of aircraft movements right here on the board?
Yeah, active
Active ones.
movements. The blue one is for arrival. This one is for arrival. And this one is for
Departure. It's great. Thank you very much for for your team.
La.
I'm here with Farnborough Sherpa, who's based here in Lukla Airport. One of the most amazing experiences we've ever had. Coming from Kathmandu, we had fixed cameras on the aircraft, and we flew about 30 minutes to Lukla. You're the manager for Tara Air here. Yeah. From here to Kathmandu, how many flights are there a day if the weather is good?
If weather is good, it depends on the passenger. My first record is 25 flights one day.
25 flights?
Include all of the airlines, I think 52 or something.
And then there's helicopters as well, right?
Yeah, helicopters, yeah.
Is Tara Air the #1 airline into Lukla?
Right now.
It is, okay. When you were younger, was it here, or was it just being built, or was it gravel?
Gravel, like a gravel, stone or
Stones?
Yeah. Then we come here to stone.
Oh, to break the
making-
rocks.
Yeah.
No
And,
kidding.
yeah.
That's amazing.
I would like to tell you, from here to the tower,
Okay.
that's all my father's land.
It was your father? No kidding.
Yeah.
This was your land.
Yeah, this is my father's land. The government told them, if you need an airport, you give this land.
For
Otherwise-
the country.
Yeah, for the country.
So really, so this was your
And
father's
my
land.
father- yes.
Thanks to your family, they're landing. We're walking in your land, or we're in the land of your father.
Yes.
I mean, these are the real heroes, the Sherpas here. Not only for climbing mountains, but they help run this part of the land. They're carrying huge loads of cargo for people who are traveling or trekking, at a very low cost a day. So I mean, these are actually my heroes, the people here. The pilots also coming in here. I mean, they fly in here several times a day. The type of visibility that you have here, that could close the airport.
The tower, if less than 5 kilometers, they're going to close the airport. Sometimes, the weather is good, then we call in Kathmandu. When the aircraft is coming middle of the air and the cloud also coming upside. Now airport is closed and the pilot say, you are lying.
Something else we noticed was the wind direction. The aircraft still land downwind.
Windsocks show the tailwind. For the landing is not good. For the takeoff is no problem. They have a wind indicator. After the 10 knots, wind speed 10 knots,
Yeah.
they close.
Oh, one thing I found just completely amazing in this airport, when you're coming to land, you're coming through a series of mountains. And then you take a steep right turn, and you're then pretty much landing on a very steep slope.
Sometimes the aeroplane is coming here. If there's the tailwind or heavy wind, they overshoot and they turn over here.
They can turn. They come back and land again.
Yeah. Otherwise, he go to back Kathmandu.
Back to Kathmandu. But I tell you, I'm walking up here, I'm tired already. The altitude here is high for me.
Yeah.
So are you tired walking up here?
No.
You're not tired?
No.
I think we're almost at 10,000 feet above sea level here. So I think about 9,500, I believe, around there. According to Farnborough, these are rescue helicopters. Taking off right here for Everest Base Camp. In the early morning, this place is crowded.
yeah.
Okay, so the first rush, got it. Well, this is definitely a great place. I've enjoyed every bit of it. I guess my last question is, what's our chance if we could see the Yeti?
Oh, we cannot see it. I think
Cannot see it. We've been talking to Farnborough Sherpa, and it's a joy to get here at this airport. Thank you, Farnborough, for the time.
This is a Yeti flight shop. I love this logo. Nice to meet you today. My name is Oi. Yeah. See. Okay. It's nice one, huh? Nice t-shirt Yeti. Yeah, green, light green, and then dark green. It's nice one actually. Yeah. And also sweater. Yeah. And boom, let's see the back. Yeti walking. I like this one. And you see Yeti passport cover and Yeti airline. Yeah, it's good one. Yeah, this one, good. This is cute. It's a feed, Yeti feed. Can I open it? Oh, nice one. And then they have even the toe. I like this one. It's a handbag. Yeah. It's a cap. I have to take this one. This is Yeti cap. This one, Yeti door. Which one is the best selling here? The t-shirt. It's cute. Thank you so much.
You are watching the Air, Space, and Lifestyle channel. This is ASL.
The difficult weather conditions that plagued the 49th Paris Airshow did little to dampen what may be classified as one of the best events ever held at Le Bourget Airport. As usual, Airbus dominated the major European aviation showcase with over 700 new aircraft orders and commitments worth billions of dollars. Leading the charge was the highly advanced A320 Neo family of airliners that offer the best operating and performance figures in its class. One of the highlights in an otherwise lackluster Boeing order book included an impressive 17 Boeing 747-8 Intercontinentals. What Boeing could not achieve in the order books, it made up for in the static display area, with a spectacular lineup of aircraft that included 3 types that were making their first Le Bourget visits. The Boeing sales and marketing team was hard at work, giving the world an opportunity to see almost their entire current airliner lineup, which included tours for potential customers and global media representatives. The Boeing first-timers included both versions of the new 747-8 models, as well as the futuristic 787 Dreamliner. They were joined on the crowded ramp by a Qatar Airways ultra-long-range 777-200LR and an Air Berlin 737-700, featuring the new Sky interior. Even though none of the aircraft flew during the main event, following strict Boeing policy, the public sentiment was outstanding. Media tours were available on all the aircraft, and this gave the world its first opportunity to venture inside the 747-8 Intercontinental. Although the aircraft was not fitted with a passenger interior, it still provided an opportunity to see every section of the aircraft, including the extended upper deck and the cockpit. The similarities to the 747-400 were clear, and there was no mistaking this as anything other than a 747 flight deck. The overall size increase of the upper deck was plainly demonstrated when it served as a media room for a scheduled press conference, featuring the ever-present Jim Albaugh and the Governor of Washington State, Christine Gregoire.
When I was mentioning earlier in the cockpit that in 1969 there were really 3 historical events in aviation. One was the first flight of the Concorde. The second was the delivery of the first 747, and the third was Neil Armstrong walking on the moon. And I think it's very ironic that this year, what's going to happen is we're going to park the shuttle and really not have a manned space program to speak of. Of course, the Concorde was parked many years ago, and with the Intercontinental and the 747 freighter, we're going to be flying this airplane for decades to come. So very exciting for us.
Some of the new creature comforts installed in November 6067 Echo were the LED interior lighting system, and of course the brighter and much larger passenger windows that lined each side of the aircraft. There were some sections of side paneling installed, as well as several overhead bin compartments, and of course several other necessary appliances. What was extremely obvious was this was a working airplane. Row after row of water ballast tanks and computers aptly demonstrated the current task assigned to this airframe, which is to gain type certification as soon as possible. This configuration gave a unique and rare chance to look inside the inner workings of a commercial aircraft, which demonstrates how complex modern aircraft actually are. But this aircraft won't be a workhorse forever. As soon as testing has been completed, the interior will be removed and the plane will be completely refurbished, and a VIP cabin will be installed before being handed over to its new owner. Unfortunately, Boeing's grueling test schedule meant the aircraft could only stay in Paris for 2 days before it had to head back to work to complete its current assignment. Thank you for joining Air Utopia at one of the world's most spectacular aviation events. Enjoy all the best that Le Bourget has to offer at the 2011 Paris Airshow.
C'est le fabuleux silence qui règne en particulier au bout supérieur de cette This particular machine, Korean Air, is equipped with configurations only for series 3 classes, 12 first
You're watching the Air, Space, and Lifestyle channel.
For all your travel needs in Ethiopia, choose ABBA Travel.
Join Air, Space, and Lifestyle channel as we bring our industries together in an exciting new way. Our coverage of the world's top air and trade shows is unmatched. We've been entrusted to film aircraft worth billions of dollars across the world. Our decades of coverage across 6 continents and over 50 countries has resulted in a diversified aviation, space, and travel database containing exclusive material never before seen. From these extensive archives, we've produced over 100 unique DVD programs. And now, it's an honor to bring you the world's first 24-hour air, space, and lifestyle streaming channel. We invite you to join us. Failure is not an option.
The Airplane Shop is the world's largest source of commercial and military aviation toys, models, and collectibles. When in New York, New Jersey, Miami, or Las Vegas, drop into the Airplane Shop. For directions, please visit our website.
Automatiquement, on baisse les volets. Sur la trajectoire de feu et de fou en l'air. Très lentement au-dessus de 160 km/h. Actuellement, une quinzaine d'Alphaïs. Vertical takeoff for the helicopter, over the ground, speed, comfort of a propeller-driven aircraft. What we see from Eurocopters demonstrators plans their
This is ASL.
This program is brought to you by Bombardier, Pratt & Whitney Canada, and ABBA Travel.
The diverse Ethiopian landscape is an awe-inspiring sight that needs to be experienced firsthand to fully appreciate the inherent beauty of this East African country. Located in the Horn of Africa, the country's varied climate and irregular topography create a challenging barrier when moving goods and people around the country. The dawn of aviation in Ethiopia ushered in a new era in transportation and communication. Before the airplane, Ethiopians depended primarily on horses, mules, and early motor vehicles to navigate some of the most impassable terrains in the world. The airplane was the perfect solution to avoid the need for expensive rail, road, and bridge infrastructure required to connect distant communities. On February 1, 1946, the first 6 Douglas C-47 Skytrains flying in V formation arrived in Addis Ababa, marking the spectacular beginning of Ethiopian Airlines. The airline's dramatic journey to become the leading airline in Africa had begun. The demand for air travel proved so great that in 1946, 4 more C-47s were purchased from the US military. Although the overall travel time to move about the country was greatly reduced, the aircraft came with few comforts for the passengers. The standard layout was 2 rows of folding, bench-type canvas seats, leaving the central aisle clear for cargo to be lashed to the floor. Despite the lack of creature comforts, the Douglas C-47 was the pioneering backbone of air transportation, flying thousands of hours and providing decades of dependable service. When the time arrived to purchase new aircraft, Ethiopian discovered it was difficult to find a replacement for the C-47's ruggedness and reliability. The arrival of the pressurized Convair 240 in 1950 offered enhanced passenger comfort, but they came with some dramatic performance issues. The 240's performance was considerably compromised by the short runways and high altitudes of Addis Ababa and Asmara airports. To overcome the performance shortfalls, the use of a jet-assisted takeoff system, or JATO, was required to get the Convairs into the air with a meaningful payload. As a result, the C-47 maintained its position as Ethiopian Airlines' most trusted aircraft, and by 1952, the SkyTrain linked 21 cities to the nation's capital. Even as the first jets began entering the fleet during the 1960s, a further 6 C-47s were added. It wasn't until 1981 that Ethiopian Airlines finally found an aircraft that could match the reliability and performance of the C-47. It was the first time the airline turned to de Havilland Aircraft of Canada with an order for 2 Dash 5 Buffaloes. This robust aircraft was a twin-engine turboprop tailored primarily as a military freighter, although it could also carry passengers. It could carry a payload of 18,000 pounds out of runways as short as 1,300 feet. The inaugural order with the Canadian manufacturer initiated a long and trusted relationship that continues today between Ethiopian Airlines and Bombardier Aerospace that purchased de Havilland Canada in 1992. By 1985, the C-47 finally entered its twilight years with the first deliveries of the de Havilland Canada -6 Twin Otter. The rugged 18-seat twin-engine turboprop airliner was engineered to provide the same short-field performance as the larger Buffalo, with a focus on passenger operations. The Twin Otter was the first de Havilland Canada aircraft to use the Pratt & Whitney Canada PT6A, one of the most iconic turboprop engines in aviation history. Pratt & Whitney Canada was founded in 1928, initially as a repair and overhaul provider specializing in Pratt & Whitney radial engines. During World War II, the company began assembling the Wasp series of engines in support of its American counterpart. These leading technology engines powered aircraft such as the consolidated B-24 Liberator, the Republic Thunderbolt, and the Douglas C-47 SkyTrain, all of which contributed significantly to the war's outcome. In 1952, Pratt & Whitney Canada took over the entire radial engine business and shortly thereafter embarked on the development of the PT6A, which was to become Canada's first turboprop engine. Development started in the late 1950s, and since then, Pratt & Whitney Canada has grown into one of the most respected engine manufacturers in the world today. As of 2016, the aerospace giant was responsible for producing more than 51,000 engines, operated by 2,000-plus operators in over 200 countries and territories. The combination of the -6 airframe and the remarkable PT6A turboprop engine has proven so successful that Pratt & Whitney Canada has remained the engine of choice for every Bombardier regional airliner ever since. The remaining Douglas C-47s would operate their final flights for Ethiopian Airlines in 1991, having ultimately been replaced by 6 de Havilland Canada Twin Otters and 2 ATR-42s. The ATRs would be replaced by the Dutch-built Fokker 50 aircraft in 1996, with Ethiopian becoming the final customer for the European turboprop. When the Fokker 50s were due for replacement, a new search began to find the next workhorse to flagship domestic and regional operations.
You're watching the Air, Space, and Lifestyle channel.
For all your travel needs in Ethiopia, choose ABA Travel.
Join Air, Space, and Lifestyle channel as we bring our industries together in an exciting new way. Our coverage of the world's top air and trade shows is unmatched. We've been entrusted to film aircraft worth billions of dollars across the world. Our decades of coverage across 6 continents and over 50 countries has resulted in a diversified aviation, space, and travel database containing exclusive material never before seen. From these extensive archives, we've produced over 100 unique DVD programs. And now, it's an honor to bring you the world's first 24-hour air, space, and lifestyle streaming channel. We invite you to join us. Failure is not an option.
The Airplane Shop is the world's largest source of commercial and military aviation toys, models, and collectibles. When in New York, New Jersey, Miami, or Las Vegas, drop into the Airplane Shop. For directions, please visit our website. The Dash 8 program was initiated in 1980 by de Havilland Canada with the goal of developing a twin-engine regional airliner to provide the best operating costs in its class. One key component to meet this goal was the newly developed Pratt & Whitney Canada PW127 turboprop engine, which offered a massive increase in power over the Twin Otter's PT6A engines. The PW100 family of engines celebrated 30 years of service in 2014 and, thanks to the latest fuel-efficient technology, continues to be one of the best engines in its class. A total of 671 classic versions of the Dash 8 were built in a production run that lasted 24 years, ending with the final delivery in 2008. In 1995, Bombardier launched a larger, stretched version of the Dash 8 that would revolutionize the turboprop industry. This version incorporated the very latest avionics, systems, engine, and airframe technology. Known as the Bombardier Q400, the aircraft features seating for up to 86 passengers, while offering jet-like speeds up to 360 knots or 665 kilometers per hour. In regular service conditions, this equates to 60 to 90 knots faster than the competition, such as the ATR and Fokker 50. The aircraft's PW150A is the most advanced turboprop engine ever developed for regional operations and offers double the horsepower while being 50% more fuel efficient. The engine's maximum rating of 5,071 shaft horsepower drives a formidable Doughty 6-bladed composite propeller measuring 13 feet 6 inches in diameter. In every aspect of its design and performance, the Q400 changes the way that commuter and regional routes are operated. It eliminates every negative aspect associated with propeller-driven aircraft, while matching jet airliner comfort and speed with turboprop-like fuel economy. Other major updates include the most modern flight deck of any turboprop, highlighted by a modular, state-of-the-art avionics package. The 5 high-resolution liquid crystal displays offer greater reliability and lower weight and complexity, resulting in a flight deck more common in modern jetliners instead of a regional turboprop. After entering service in 2000, it was obvious the combined efforts of Bombardier and its team of dedicated suppliers had perfectly optimized the Q400, offering fast, quiet and fuel-efficient operations while providing a greatly reduced environmental footprint. Upgrades to the Q400 were announced in 2008. The Q400 Next Gen boasts internal improvements inside the cabin which utilize LED lighting, new ceiling panels, dished window sidewalls and larger overhead bins. Operating costs were further reduced by increasing service intervals and optimizing maintenance tasks to minimize each aircraft's downtime. These improvements solidify the Bombardier Q400 Next Gen's position as the premier turboprop aircraft of the 21st century. With a proven track record covering years of dependable service, it was no surprise that Ethiopian Airlines turned to Bombardier yet again to update the carrier's domestic and regional aircraft requirements. An initial order for 8 Bombardier Q400 Next Gen aircraft plus 4 options was signed in November 2008. The Q400 offers Ethiopian Airlines the flexibility to deploy them on routes ranging up to 1,000 nautical miles or 1,850 kilometers from Addis Ababa. It also allows multiple daily flights to destinations that can't support larger Boeing 737 NGs. Another important attribute is the Q400's exceptional climb rate and single-engine ceiling, which allow higher payloads and revenue potential on every flight. These characteristics are particularly beneficial when operating from hot and high airfields, such as Addis Ababa, located at 2,334 meters or 7,656 feet above sea level. The first aircraft touched down in Addis Ababa in March 2010, having flown via St. John's, Canada, Santa Maria, Portugal, and Cairo, Egypt. It was not long until the Bombardier Q400 facilitated a truly historic moment in the airline's history when Ethiopian Airlines celebrated the flight of its first female captain in 2010. Captain Amsale had previously amassed 8 years of experience and an impressive 4,475 flight hours as a first officer on Ethiopian's Fokker 50 and Boeing 757-767 fleets. A follow-up order for a further 5 Q400 next-gen airliners was placed in February 2012. The standard all-economy layout was replaced with 7 business class and 64 economy class seats, raising the comfort bar on the short-haul network to new heights. With a growing list of operators worldwide, the future of the Bombardier Q400 looks very bright indeed, as airlines around the globe continue to enjoy the advanced systems, groundbreaking technology, and unmatched performance and economics the aircraft brings to regional operations. Ethiopian Airlines itself is one of the fastest-growing airlines in the world and has set its sights on being one of the world's greatest airlines in the coming years. With a growing fleet of modern and efficient aircraft such as the Bombardier Q400 and a passion to exceed passengers' expectations, this goal seems well within reach.
For all your travel needs in Ethiopia, choose ABA Travel.
You are watching ASL.
When visiting one of the most famous airports in the world, Tokyo Narita, come visit the Museum of Aeronautical Sciences, located just minutes from Narita Airport. With a museum shop located in Terminal 1 on the 5th floor, you can shop for aviation merchandise, as well as pick up a discount coupon for visiting this museum. Travel is easy by taking a convenient bus departing from Level 1 at Bus Stop 30 frequently throughout the day. The Museum of Aeronautical Sciences is a wonder for anyone interested in aviation, with 5 stories including aircraft display, inside and outside observation deck, flight simulators, large map room of Narita Airport, various educational and entertaining activities for kids to adults, and restaurant and gift shop. Air Utopia strongly recommends to feel, touch, and experience the virtual world of the sky. Open daily except on Monday. Come visit a positive aviation experience.
You're watching ASL.
This is the story of the United States Navy's Sea Dart, the world's first supersonic water-based interceptor, designed and built to fly and fight beyond the speed of sound, designed to operate on its own special runway, 4/5 of the world. And at San Diego, California, engineers took the first step toward the development of a jet aircraft that could land and take off on water. From their drawing boards came the initial plan, but like all new ideas, acceptance did not come easily. There were those who said jet aircraft could not operate on water. Landing speeds would be too great, too much drag on takeoff, too much shock on landing. Spray would drown jet engines. These men took all these problems in stride and came up with a plausible design. It was revolutionary in design. Hydro skis, developed by the National Advisory Committee on Aeronautics, were coupled with the delta wing, and this combination was compatible from the start. Transforming a dream on paper into reality, everything must be perfect. This is where know-how pays dividends. In December of 1952, under the cover of darkness, the research airplane was moved from its restricted area to a hangar a few feet from San Diego Bay. Few experiences on Earth which can equal the things crowding in on a test flight staff or the designers of a new airplane at a moment such as this. There's nothing more that people on shore can do. No more time for another check. No more time for one last adjustment. This is the payoff. And as the Sea Dart moved away from shore, the hopes and the dreams of the engineers and craftsmen who made this moment possible rested in the hands of one man, the test pilot, whose mission it was to ride herd on the new airplane, give it treatment it would seldom get in actual use, take it to the breaking point, ring it out. There were many items to be considered: taxi performance, vibration, stability, and the use of the water rudder, four-body spray rail, breaker strip, skeg. Only the pilot could tell if the instruments and switches were within easy reach. And on the taxi runs, the ship seemed to strain to rise into the air. But the pilot had to complete the checkout list before the go-ahead to take her up. On the 9th of April, 1953, the Sea Dart moved into position for takeoff. The flight test program was moved to the open sea, 5 miles off the Southern California coast. In the weeks that followed, many design improvements were made until one major problem remained. Pilot reports indicated the twin ski undercarriage could be improved. The engineers then decided to incorporate a single ski arrangement on the research airplane. The single ski provided improved takeoff performance, lower airplane weight, less vibration. The pilots liked her. Her new engines kicking out 10,000 pounds of thrust, riding the water like a bobsled. Clean, deadly, fast. Fast enough to leave her sound behind her, and built to take it. The Sea Dart. Who can name her designer? He is Legion. He is an organization of 1,000 engineers and 15,000 craftsmen.
This is ASL. Join Air, Space, and Lifestyle Channel as we bring our industries together in an exciting new way. Our coverage of the world's top air and trade shows is unmatched. We've been entrusted to film aircraft worth billions of dollars across the world. Our decades of coverage across 6 continents and over 50 countries has resulted in a diversified aviation, space, and travel database containing exclusive material never before seen. From these extensive archives, we've produced over 100 unique DVD programs. And now, it's an honor to bring you the world's first 24-hour air, space, and lifestyle streaming channel. We invite you to join us. Failure is not an option. You're watching the Air, Space, and Lifestyle Channel.
Minimum 150, 100, 50, 40, 30, 20, 10, 5.
The mighty Airbus A400M Atlas is a 4-engine turboprop tactical airlifter with strategic capabilities. It is positioned in size between Lockheed C-130 Hercules and the C-17A Globemaster III. The aircraft's roots stretch back as far as 1982, when the Future International Military Airlifter Group was set up to design a replacement for the C-130 and the Transall C-160. The Airbus A400M offers better range, speed, altitude, payload and tactical performance, and also offers the ability to perform as an electronic surveillance and an aerial refueling platform. Its massive cargo hold, measuring 17.7 meters long, 4 meters wide and 3.85 meters high, can accommodate most of the latest and largest military equipment, something its predecessors cannot do. Thanks to an impressive 37-ton payload capability, the Atlas can carry supersized cargo such as helicopters, infantry vehicles, rescue boats, and heavy equipment required to provide disaster relief. As with all current Airbus aircraft, it features a full-glass cockpit, side-stick controllers, and a fly-by-wire control system. The A400M's forward-looking infrared-enhanced vision system is displayed on the heads-up display, allowing for tactical flying at low altitudes, in clouds, or at night. The engines are unique because the 5.3-meter diameter propellers turn in opposite directions, producing more lift while lessening the torque and prop wash on each wing. The A400M was designed from the outset to be a cost-effective tanker aircraft. Every aircraft comes with most of the required equipment and software installed as standard. The aircraft can be quickly converted to a 2-point tactical tanker and is able to refuel any probe-equipped receiver at its preferred speed and altitude. This makes the A400M the most capable tactical tanker in the world.
1.
This is ASL.
For all your travel needs in Ethiopia, choose ABA Travel.
My name is Olivier Luneau. I'm second in command of the unit in charge of the operational evaluation of the A400M. I've been a C-130 pilot for more than 10 years before doing the conversion on the A400M. And I had the opportunity to be one of the first crew to qualify on the A400M. Since then, we started the evaluations 1 year ago, the 2nd August of 2013. And we continue now the evaluation of the aircraft to check all the equipment we've got in the French Air Force is compatible with the A400M. We make sure that all the airfields we have in France are equipped and ready to receive an A400M for missions. I did the first missions in Djibouti and since then we have the opportunity to do operational missions. When I mean operational, it means the aircraft leaves Orleans going to Africa or some place like that. And recently I had the opportunity to do an evaluation in South America. So we went to La Paz to see how the aircraft works in a high altitude airfields. It was very interesting. As you can see, we have a fantastic simulator, very realistic. So we do about 35 missions for training before doing the first flight. And the simulator is so realistic that it's like doing the flight for reals. When we first flew on the aircraft, it was like a sim, it was quite easy. You can't compare. It's the next generation. When you see all these screens, there is a big gap between the C-130 and this type of aircraft, obviously. The other thing is the way we operate the aircraft. As you can see, it's only a two-pilot aircraft. You don't have any flight engineer, you don't have any navigators, which is the main difference for the way we work within the crew. It's very quiet inside the aircraft. We can almost speak to the co-pilots without any headset, which is a big change. In C-130 you can't do that. So one of the main differences as well compared with the C-130, the A400M is able to carry more than 30 tons, up to 2,000 nautical miles, twice what the C-130 can do, a big difference as well. To give you an example, we can fly to Lukla in South Africa without any stop to fuel. So makes a big difference. In the near future, we try to go in Africa for a longer time, for maybe a week, to see how the aircraft cope with this kind of climate, with dust and this kind of thing. So,
above. $300 minimum. $200. $150. $100. $50, $40, $30, $20, $10, $5.
This aircraft is very new, so we have to discover a lot of minor things. But yeah, we are very happy with the aircraft.
The A400M began 2016 with an order book totaling 174 aircraft, including 21 in service. The initial industrial ramp-up of the production line is steadily gathering pace, with deliveries expected to reach 23 units in 2016 compared to only 11 in 2015. Spain is set to become the sixth operator of the type during 2016, joining France, Turkey, the United Kingdom, Germany and Malaysia. Belgium will join the group in 2018, followed by Luxembourg in 2019. As the list of operators grows and as more aircraft enter service, the A400M is destined to blossom into one of the world's premier tactical and strategic airlifters.